Something weird. Charles, have you seen GameStop shares?
Of course.
Oh, yeah. My gosh. Well, let me show our viewers. Okay, they fell at the opening bell to 31 bucks, are now soaring 31% at this moment to $41.33 because the hero trader of the meme stock crowd, Keith Gill, a.k.a. Roaring Kitty, has scheduled a live stream on his YouTube channel. That would be his first in 3 years for tomorrow at noon. I mean, the craziness, you guys know, already began Sunday when the retail trader posted a $115 million position in GameStop, which reinvigorated the so-called apes who back in 2021 followed Kitty on Reddit and piled into the stock. And let's flip it over if you want to see some spread here. Robinhood, the favorite trading platform of the meme stock crowd, it's getting its own bump in part on increased trading from retail investors like the meme traders. But the stock was already spiking to a 2.5-year high this morning on its own big headline. Coming up on the Claman Countdown, Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev is here live on the big crypto exchange purchase he's just made, and first reaction from Vlad about what he thinks of this latest emergence, not just of the meme stock ape investors, but the news about the live stream tomorrow by Roaring Kitty. Vlad Tenev coming up in just a few minutes. CEO Vlad Tenev joins me now live in studio. We'll get to this very interesting deal in just a moment, but I got to ask you, we're looking at GameStop right now. Those shares are soaring exponentially by like 47% right now after Keith Gill, a.k.a. Roaring Kitty, has announced that tomorrow at noon he's going to do a live stream. And of course, he was the guy that everybody followed in the meme stock trading that actually really benefited you guys because you are that platform of choice for a lot of those meme stock traders. What do you make of the announcement that he'll come out tomorrow, and are you prepared to handle the kind of volume that might come with that live stream at noon?
We are prepared. We've been working on improving the infrastructure tremendously. The first meme stock run, we were just a startup company, small company, pre-IPO, and we've made so many investments. And now with this latest run and increase in trading activity, we come with new product innovations. So Robinhood offers 24-hour market, the ability to trade stocks 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And so much of this activity starts on the weekends or late at night, Sunday evening in this case. And so it's great not just to have the balance sheet and the technical infrastructure to handle increased load, but to also put in new innovations that make Robinhood the best place for our customers to trade and invest. Sunday night was the night that Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, posted his holdings. First time he'd posted in 3 years that he had $115 million worth of GameStop, and that's when things started to go nuts. Where were you Sunday night when you first saw, I would imagine, increased activity on Robinhood? I think I was at home. I usually work on Sundays. I was preparing for the week. And, you know, fortunately, back in COVID days, I would be, you know, watching all of our metrics like a hawk, talking to the engineers. But knock on wood, things have been running fairly smoothly. So I haven't had to just be so involved in the infrastructure work with all of the work that the great team has been doing at Robinhood.
In fact, you're so involved with growing the company, and you make this Bitstamp acquisition, which I think is very interesting. This is a $200 million or so buy purchase of this European crypto exchange. What will change for customers of Robinhood once you get Bitstamp up and running and incorporated?
Yeah, it's really three things. Number one, it accelerates our international expansion. Bitstamp is a global company with operations in many of the major markets, so that accelerates that. The second is it's an exchange. You know, we've been thinking for a long time that there is a need for a new exchange in the marketplace, and this paves the way for a new player. We can partner with Bitstamp and use our expertise in technology, their expertise, to really bring a new offering to market. And then third, institutional business. We talk to many of our market makers. They say that a new exchange is needed, one that's trusted, takes regulatory compliance seriously, and has an advantage in technology. And this allows Robinhood to get into the institutional business, which is a very interesting business.
You've always said that you wanted to treat institutional traders and retail traders equally. retail traders turned to you guys in the early days, especially during the meme stock craze, because Robinhood, they felt respected by you guys. I mean, and you're a favorite of the Gen Zers out there. You're now expanding to these institutional traders. What does that really mean for your bottom line?
I mean, I think it's a new business. As a new business, there's opportunities to grow the bottom line, service it profitably, and the technology that we've built that offers the lowest cost trading on the market, the great user experience. We recently, on the brokerage side, reduced our margin rates. So now we offer the lowest margin rates on the industry. So it's really the lowest possible cost across all of our products, which is now a diversified set of products, as well as a great customer experience. And I think that that's an attractive proposition for institutional customers as well. So that's a natural expansion opportunity for the business.
As you said, you already offer 24-hour trading Monday through Friday. Well, Bitcoin.
Sunday night even.
Well, Sunday, exactly. Yeah. So that's why you started to notice the trades. But Bitcoin, needless to say, trades never stop. It's 24/7 all the time. Weekend trading. When and how are you preparing to offer that?
Yeah, so we obviously offer it already with cryptocurrencies. With the traditional equities markets, it's a more difficult proposition. You know, a lot of these clearing agencies and counterparties don't work on weekends. Right. They require people in offices. They're still operating on mainframes.
Well, so could you even do it then?
Well, I think one thing that's really interesting is the possibility of traditional assets and the crypto technology to become one. We think that in the future, crypto technology and the traditional financial system, including stocks, could converge, and we could take advantage of instant settlement, 24-hour trading, lower costs, fractionalization built in for trading traditional assets. And I think as a company that is diversified and has a crypto business and a traditional financial business, we can actually play a leading role in that convergence and in driving that utility for customers.
But when you have meetings, are you saying, guys, we got to get there. We got to get to 24/7 trading of equities and everything else. We want to be the first.
Yeah, we've been saying that for, I mean, pretty much ever since the beginning. I think we were one of the first to offer equities trading 24/5, yeah. And now we're offering that at large scale, 900 plus stocks being offered on the platform. And then there's a lot of work in seamlessly offering these products to users and making it really easy, offering them at low cost. We're also one of the first traditional financial firms to offer crypto. And it's a relentless push to make sure we offer the best products to customers, give them the best tools to manage their money. And we're expanding and diversifying even further. We have a credit card that we rolled out, 1 million people on the wait list within the first 30 days. A gold card, 3% cash back on all categories, the best offer on the market.
Well, this is a classic example of why competition is good and why startups should be allowed to start in your garage, as you did, and grow to where you are now. I'll bring it back as we end to tomorrow, when Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, starts this noon live stream on YouTube, the trading flows. So you feel very confident Robinhood's platform is equipped to handle what could be massive volume?
We've been spending a lot of time investing in the infrastructure. So I definitely don't want to jinx anything. Right. You know, I'm a very superstitious person in a way, but yeah, I know the team's going to be ready.
You're superstitious. Okay, we just learned something about you. Keith, it's great to have you. Vlad Tenev, we appreciate it. And got to show you shares of GameStop. We've been following them all hour long, up 46.5% trading around the highs of the session on news that Keith Gill, a.k.a. Roaring Kitty, will live stream on YouTube tomorrow for the first time in 3 years. He is the one that all the apes, the meme stock traders, had followed back in 2021 as he invested in GameStop. We just heard from Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev, who said his company is ready for the potential massive amounts of volume. We may begin to see it midday tomorrow. Charlie is here to react. Charlie.
I thought that was Keith Gill that just left.
They do kind of look a little bit.
Don't they look alike? I called him Keith and he said hello.
Stop.
I'm only kidding. That's not true. But in any event,
You said they've invested a ton in infrastructure to prepare.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I think we should point out that Robinhood today is not Robinhood of 3 years ago. It's a much more mature company. It's got much more. It was a capital issue the last time. They didn't have the capital to do the clearing based on the tremendous amounts of volume that came in. And we should also point out that 2021, early 2021, is a much different environment, not just for Robinhood as a company. Again, raised capital, they've been to the market, they've been around, they have controls in place, but the market itself is different. I think I mean, let's face it, 2021, people were still locked in their house. They were trading off of stimmy checks and 0% interest rates. We do not have that right now. So the amount of volume that's going to come tomorrow, if any, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's priced in now. I can't tell you. Is probably not to the extent it was back in 2021 when Robinhood couldn't trade because it didn't have the capital to clear. Essentially, that was the problem.
Well, what does this all mean for GameStop stock?
I don't know. I mean, GameStop is a crappy company. I mean, what do you want me to say? Look at its financials.
I did, actually, Charlie.
Wonderful, right?
They have $1.2 billion in cash.
Right.
Okay, $602 million in debt. They've got a market cap of, well,
no.
it was $9.8 billion.
What was their earnings last quarter?
Well, they didn't. Obviously, they report June 11th after the close.
What was it last quarter?
Well, they came in with $5.2 billion in revenue.
What was their earnings? Do they have earnings?
They might not have, but
I'm just telling you.
$5.2 billion in revenue is not a crappy business. That's not a crappy business, Charlie.
$5.2 billion in revenue?
Yeah, for a company
revenue.
Yeah,
okay?
sales
with 600 whatever in debt.
602 million.
Yeah, in debt with when you consider revenue and with very wonky earnings. This is not a company that's worth 50 times.
That's the market's decision.
No. It's not. It's when reality will set in, because it has already. By the way, we should point out that if you put a longer-term chart, GameStop, hit some massive highs along the way. And by the way,
5 year. That's a 5 year.
Then they, there's the 5 years, so it's well off its highs over the 5 years.
14 billion market cap right now.
Then they diluted their shareholders a gazillion times. I would just say this. You're going to see a lot of touts out there. People are going to talk about revenues and, what the market cap is. I would look at its underlying business, whether it's performing well compared to what it was in the past, how it's diluting shareholders. And listen, if you want to trade around this thing, feel free. But, man, most people that trade are not Steve Cohens of the world, And this thing is a ripe short at this point. And it's not the same environment as it was last time where these shorts are just so committed to blowing these companies up and just essentially putting all their chips in one basket. The shorts today, after all this meme stuff, have gotten a lot more, they're a lot more strategic in what they're doing.
Well, that sure means that the apes had an effect on the big Wall Street traders. Yeah. Don't say no, Charlie. You can't deny that.
Oh, yeah, they did.
You said that they are more strategic, translation, cautious.
No, wait a second, but they did. And then the apes lost a lot of money because GameStop is well off its highs. AMC is down 99%. We should put a chart up at AMC. It looks like it's doing great today, but it's really a 50-cent stock compared to 72 at its high. Remember, these stocks are well off their highs. So if you're going to go there, be prepared to lose your you-know-what.
You just said, let me finish with this, that it's a screaming short play. The shorts are getting slaughtered right now, and who knows what will happen tomorrow when Keith Gill goes on YouTube.
You don't know how much they're getting slaughtered. I mean, you really don't know how they're hedging.
That's true.
I don't. You have no idea. If the shorts are getting slaughtered, where's the hedge fund that's going out of business?
Well, one did. We know that.
When?
In 2021.
How long ago was that?
3 years ago. Okay. I'm just saying.
When's the next one? I mean, where's this one?
Lightning can strike twice.
You're not going to see it. I mean, listen, there may be one or two, one small one, but that was a massive hedge fund that they put out. Mm-hmm. It's not happening now. That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing quite the opposite. They know what's coming. The hedge funds,
Put
they
up
know.
GameStop one more time, guys.
They know that GameStop is not we're not talking about Apple or Amazon here with
Can we put up GameStop one more time just for a last check here? We've got about 4 minutes left to trade. It's up 47.7%. Obviously, true, well off that 5-year high.
How many times earnings is it trading? Or does it have earnings?
Oh, it's like 4,600.
I mean, does it have earnings?
Melvin Capital was the name of the company.
I know the company, but I mean, what are the earnings?
Well,
do they have earnings?
If they're at 4,600 forward PE, it doesn't say NA, not available.
I know, but I'm just telling you that
I'm just telling you, a company that makes $5 billion.
No, it doesn't make. That's the revenues.
That's called sales.
Yeah, that's right. That's the revenues. It's
okay,
not
so then
it's making it is what you earn.
Okay. I say sales means that's what came in.
And what did they sell before people stopped buying these things at malls?
Well, revenue is down about 19%
yes,
quarter over quarter.
Well, think about that.
But at least I'm coming with numbers, Charlie. I'm not just throwing out accusations.
You're coming with numbers that make no sense because you're saying that
these are the numbers that the Wall Street Journal reports.
Right, but the revenues are going down quarter after quarter, and their stock is up how much quarter after quarter?
Well, that's the market play.
No, the numbers that you are citing, right, which are revenues. You're not even citing the earnings. The revenues you're citing are down quarter after quarter. Quarter over quarter, yet the stock is up a gazillion % quarter over quarter.
Well, they're not shutting. They're not shutting down, and they're not.
Well, wonderful, and they're not bankrupt. Let's throw some more money at it.
You're just holding them to a different standard than some of these other companies.
Lower revenues, and I'm holding them to a different standard.
No, lower revenue. A lot of companies put out lower revenues.
No, wait a second. That's not how analysts and people that are rational about stocks hold companies. They look at revenues, whether they're improving or not improving, and then they put money. And so, but you see you get that part, right?
No, I don't get it at all.
I
don't get it at all. I'm just a dummy.
I mean, you know what they do? They
Charlie, thank you. We got a countdown closer, but tomorrow, get ready.
Gill?
Roaring Kitty.
What time is he on?
Noon.
Oh.
YouTube.
I think I'll work out.
Live stream.
It makes me so happy to see Keith back online and coming back to YouTube soon. Let's be clear, a guy posting memes and sharing his position online for everyone to see at the same time is not market manipulation. Not at all. And the thought that a brokerage would even consider removing a client simply due to the position that client holds and their presence on social media is absolutely insane. Keith should be allowed to share his opinions freely, and he should be allowed to invest and trade in this market freely like anyone else. I just wish that the financial press would give more attention to the real problems in the financial markets. Why not talk about the fact that over 100% of GME's float was sold short back in January 2021? Why not talk about how market makers pay brokerages for individual investors' order flow so they can route your orders to non-transparent alternative trading systems known as dark pools? Why not consider the fact that famed money managers and notorious short sellers are allowed on national television with open arms every single day to either pump the stocks they own and use the public as exit liquidity, or to bash and deride the stocks they are shorting, all the while the financial press says nothing about it. But a regular guy shares his position transparently and posts some memes on social media, and the entire market starts freaking out. Let's be real. The financial press cannot stand GameStop. They cannot stand to see GME, AMC, or any other so-called meme stock rally because these stocks and these companies are representative of individual investors making their own financial decisions. The financial press can't stand it. Why? Because they want you to make financial decisions based on what they tell you. They want you to buy the stocks they say to buy, sell the stocks they say to sell, and to do so when they tell you to. And so the financial press and their overlords on Wall Street can't stand to see GameStop rally because it is representative of the independence of the individual investor. And in their view, the independence of the individual investor stands in the way of them making money. As individual investors, what we want is simple, and nothing we're advocating for is beyond the realm of reason. Individual investors want a free, fair, and transparent stock market. We want large institutions to be held accountable for their actions. We want individual investors to have access to the same real-time data from exchanges' better private feeds, which is currently only available to the large firms on Wall Street. We want short sale data to be reported in real time. We want an end to excessive amounts of failures to deliver, and we want entities who fail to deliver on their obligations to be held accountable. We want an end to payment for order flow due to the insane conflicts of interest it creates. There's a reason why so many other countries have already banned it. We want the exchanges to be not-for-profit utilities as they once were. The exchanges becoming for-profit ventures has created so many conflicts of interest at the expense of individual investors. We want increased competition among market makers. And we want all of individual investors' orders to be routed directly to lit transparent exchanges rather than opaque alternative trading systems known as dark pools. Ultimately, it's simple. What we want is a stock market that offers a truly level playing field for all investors. I'm looking forward to Keith's live stream tomorrow. Remember, it's 12 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. Please leave a like on this video so more people will see it. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.